Hey guys, it's Maisie and I have blonde hair again. Hint of the week, don't bleach your hair 3 times in a week because it will be damaged and it will fall out a lot. Okay, so I've been away for a while. I'm kind of sorry about that. I've had my best friend down and that's been nice. I've had her down for the week and I haven't seen her in like 6 months, something like that. Yeah, 6 months. So it's nice to spend time with her again. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm just being kind of pretentious and forcing my life upon you. But I have mocks, which in the grand scheme of things aren't that important, I guess. But I've kind of come to the sudden realization that wow, this time next year I'll be taking all of my exams. I've been kind of thinking about how much pressure is put on you in terms of exams and how they're meant to determine your worth and your life and your intelligence. And I'm not saying that exams aren't important because I personally think they really are. Regardless of what field you want to go into, I think that exams are important in case you need to fall back on something, or in case you decide somewhere along the line that you don't want to do what you originally planned and you need grades to be able to go and maybe study what you want or to be able to get the job that you'd like to go into in the future. But I feel like there is far too much pressure put on your intelligence and the fact that exams define your intelligence. And I don't think that's right at all. Because just because someone doesn't perform well under exam conditions and that much pressure, it doesn't mean that they're not smart or intelligent or worth having that job. Like, I think exams don't define someone's intelligence at all. For instance, I have a friend who's much smarter than me, much smarter, but she doesn't perform as well in exams, so therefore she's deemed to be less intelligent than myself. And I don't like that at all because I feel as though it puts people on pedestals from others, and I just don't feel like it's right. Given I don't know any other ways that they could measure someone's intelligence in terms of like schooling, I don't quite know how they could do that. But I don't think exams are necessarily the way forward. Especially not the way they're doing it for the new year group coming up, so the year group below me. For instance, they get no coursework. None whatsoever. Which means that everything comes down to that one day, those couple hours of your life. They determined your grade and possibly your future, depending on what you want to go into. And for a girl, or anyone with a vagina, not that all people with vaginas are girls, you could be on your period that day and could be in a hell of a lot of pain. Or you could have headaches and be fatigued, and just feel like crap. Yet, you're still expected to perform as well as you would on any regular day when you were feeling 100% fine. It's the same for anyone else who may be feeling ill on the day, or just maybe something's gone wrong within your life or your bubble or just in general, which throws you off, which means that you don't get those grades that you deserve, all down to the fact that you didn't perform as well as you could have in a couple hours. And I think that that's so frustrating. There could be some people that are predicted A's, A stars, or like 9s. Now, I don't understand the new system, don't even ask me. But there could be some people who predicted that, and deserve those grades and are capable of getting those grades and have gotten those grades in all of their mocks. Yet when they come down to it, end up maybe getting a D or like an E or just something that they don't deem to be good enough. I'm not saying that D's and E's aren't good enough. If you've tried your hardest and you don't feel as though you could have done any better, then that is perfectly fine. For instance, my dad, when he was taking his exams a long time ago, he got a D in his English, and my dad's got pretty bad dyslexia, to the point where, like, he didn't read a book properly until maybe 5 years ago. And for him to get a D, that's really bloody good, and even though he's my dad, I'm proud of that. And that doesn't mean that isn't a good grade. It may not be a pass, but it's as good as he could do, and he tried damn hard, and I think that that's really good. But back to the whole grades thing, I just don't think that it's the right way to go about things in terms of making people feel as though they have to meet these high expectations when on the day they may just crumble or just not feel good at all. For instance, me, like, I'm in top sets for all of my classes except PE, but I don't go to that anyway, help out other teachers, because if you're nice to teachers, they will be nice to you. But yeah, so from an early age I've always been told that I have to get the top grades, or that, oh, you're gonna get all A's, or oh, like a C isn't good enough for you. And that's what's been drilled into my head since maybe year 6, when I was 10 and 11. Like, I was a kid. I'm still a kid now, to be honest. Like, I feel like a child still. But it's still that pressure of, wow, if I don't get an A, I'm gonna fail the people around me. Like, that's the kind of thing they install into your head. And for me, I just don't think that that's achievable for me. For instance, I've always been told, oh, you're gonna get like a low A, you're gonna get a low A in French, and to be honest, I'll be lucky if I pass with a C. Like, because I panic when it comes to speaking. I'm not a big speaker for exams and stuff like that. I just don't enjoy it at all, really. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't be good at French in the future. It just means that the way that they are examining me doesn't fit me, I guess. And not all exams fit people. I think it's kind of silly how they assume that everyone is going to perform the same way in exams. I think that they should give an array of options for people to take, because not one option is going to fit the entire population, which should be obvious, but it's obviously not. So I think the moral of this is, if you're taking exams and you don't get the grades you think you could have, it doesn't mean that you're not worth employing. It doesn't mean that you're not intelligent. It doesn't mean that you don't hold the key to something else in the world. For instance, you may not be very good at math, you may not be very good at science, but you could write a piece of music that influences a hell of a lot of people and changes a lot of people's perspective on things, which I think is just as good as something else, like academic-wise. So if you don't get the grades you wanted, you're still worth everything, and you're still good enough. I think that's what I wanted to say. If you don't get what you want, you're still good enough. Don't let your grades define you as a person. because you're capable of so much more than anyone knows. Yeah. So I hope you're doing good. I hope you had a good week. I hope you have a good week. I'll speak to you soon, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Bye.